Hey guys, and welcome to Achieve with Carolina Live. I'm Carolina Romaniuk, your child and family sleep specialist, and I help parents to get a good night's sleep and to understand their children's sleep needs better. So tonight, I was wondering, what have I not done in a while? And I figured, you know what? Old-fashioned Q&A. So I wanted just to kind of leave it up to you guys to ask me questions. It's easy for me to come up with topics, but I figured who not better to ask me questions than my favorite parents. So I want to find out from you, what are your most pressing parental questions about your baby's sleep that you have right now? And I'll be able to see if maybe we can work out a solution for you. So let me know in the comments below, just type it up. That's why I'm doing black and white, because I figured it'd be kind of cute to do old-fashioned. And just let me know what kind of questions you have. Maybe there were like the past topics that we were talking about before. You might have some questions, just so let me know. Hey Leona, hi Angelica. So people that are signing on right now, we are just doing a regular Q&A, what's today, Monday. So if you have any questions about your baby's sleep, just let me know. I'm leaving the floor to you. So go ahead and let me know. Leona say, I just wanted to tell you Brody sleeps in his own bed. Yay! Go Leona. If that's your goal, awesome goal. Hi Angelica. Hi Igor. So again, everyone that's signing on right now, we're getting a bunch of more people signing on. We are talking about Q&A Tuesday today, so I'm leaving it up to you guys. Whatever questions you have, if you have any friends or colleagues or relatives that are having kind of situations regarding sleep with their little one, make sure to highlight them here. You can share the video right below, just share that with them and let them sign on. This is live. It's better to do this live. Of course, I love my replay viewers as well. So if you are watching this as a replay, make sure that you do put in the comments below any type of question that you have, and then once I get highlighted, I'll be able to answer it for you. So Leona says, wasn't my goal, I miss him, just the right thing to do. Good night, Leona. Yeah, it's, just to answer that part, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's the right thing that your little one has to sleep in their own bed. It's just if it works for your family situation. If he does sleep nicely and the whole family sleeps beautifully in your own bed, then that's fine. You can do that. But if you prefer to have your own bed back and have that with you and your hubby, then that's beautiful too. So I don't want anyone feeling on this thread that they have to, like there are rules, right? Like your child has to sleep in their own bed. No, it doesn't go that way. It goes with however your parental philosophy is. And the bottom line is everyone has to be getting the equal amount, well, not the equal, but the proper amount of sleep for the entire family as a whole. So if not everyone is sleeping, then that's not good. Hi, Maria. Hi, Diana. Oh, okay. Yeah, he's 7. So I guess it's time. Okay, so I'm not going to keep you anymore, Leona, because you said good night, so I'm assuming you're going to go to bed. So sweet dreams. And if anyone else has any questions, let me know. I'm going to be on for another 20 minutes or so. I have in the background playing my favorite artist right now, Robert Mendoza. So if you like my face, my black and white face. So sweet dreams, Leona. Yeah, if you like Robert Mendoza, I really like him. He's hot, but that's besides the point. His music is really good. So I just kind of keep him on in the background. I don't know if you could hear him. Yeah, so today was really warm. Like the snow in New York is practically melted. It was like 52 degrees or something like that. So I can't wait for spring to arrive. Yay! Maria says, so true, as soon as we stopped stressing and left him in our bed, he started sleeping better. Yeah, so if it works for your family, go with the flow. Don't feel as though you have to put yourself in this box. I'm like box. and see as though you have to fit into this whole sleep training world. If it works for your family, then go with the flow with it. The only time that you really need to start looking into sleep training or looking into other types of ways to help your family sleep is if it's not working for your family anymore. If your little one is waking up constantly, or if they're waking you up constantly. So you shouldn't feel as though you have to deal with it or wait it out or anything of that sort. Everyone needs their sleep, because if the parents are not sleeping beautifully, then you can't be the perfect parent that you are to your child if you're sleep deprived, because you're not fully in the moment. All you keep thinking about is, oh my God, when is bedtime? Oh my God, I can't wait to go to bed. But at the same time, you might be having anxiety when bedtime approaches, because you know that you might have to either sit by their bed for an hour, or it'll take you forever to put them to sleep. So, keeping in mind that how your little one falls asleep, and if it works for your family and everyone sleeps beautifully without interruption, then that's perfect. If not, then you would want to kind of look a little deeper into where you need to start implementing proper sleep hygiene for your little one. Diana says, generally, how long is a 5-month-old supposed to sleep during the night? So, it kind of depends. They shouldn't be sleeping fully through the night. They should still have feeds. Some kids around that age are fully night weaned. So it really depends, but they can sleep anywhere between approximately 12 hours, 12 to 14 hours at night. Some might be less, some might be 11, but you want to make sure that you are still feeding them at night, because I'm a big advocate for that, especially close to 9 months of age. It's still normal for a little one to be fed. Now, if you are given the green light from your pediatrician to kind of wean off of the feeds and they don't need the feeds anymore, then you can totally go that route too. But kind of understanding that when someone says sleeping through the night or sleep during the night, that it doesn't mean that they're sleeping continuously throughout the night. They'll of course have their night wakings, which is normal, but as long as they don't last for a long period of time, meaning if they last 5 to 10 minutes, that's fine. If they last 20 minutes or longer and they need a prop to help them go to sleep, that's kind of when you want to go looking into it. Maria, you don't follow the rule anymore. Whatever works for you, honey. If what you're doing right now works beautifully, more power to you. That's all you need to do. You don't need to stress yourself out. You don't need to stress your family out about it. If it works for you, if everyone is peaceful at night and everyone is sleeping, yay! That's all that we want. We don't want to have any type of frustration or anxiety or nervousness towards bedtime. So we want to kind of, go with the flow with it. But of course, keeping in mind, if someone in the family is not sleeping well, then we kind of want to change that. So Diana is saying she's fully night weaned. Oh, beautiful, Diana. Oh, wow. Very cool. So then you got more than half of it kind of out of the way. So then it's perfect. So yeah, so she should be sleeping around 12 to 14, around there. Hey, Pamela. So what kind of other questions do you guys have? I'm seeing we're getting a lot more people on. Make sure you like this video, share it so we could get more friends on, family, co-workers, colleagues. I want to kind of keep this going. And the reason why I have this, I'm in black and white tonight, is because I'm doing an old-fashioned Q&A. So I thought it was kind of cute to put that together. My pleasure, Diana. Hi, Esther. So what kind of questions do you guys have for me tonight? Let them roll. Let's see if I can put on some music in the background. No questions, guys? You always have questions for me. What's going on? Slow night tonight? Esther says, my 22-month, how many hours between nap and sleep? I'm assuming that most of you guys probably have the same questions, right? So what we can do is I actually have it put together. It's on my website. So if you want to know how many hours your little one needs to sleep, Esther, I don't do awake times. I think that's what you're kind of asking, is how many hours that they need to be awake between nap and bedtime. So there are past the age of 6 months, I work off of biological rhythms. So that just means that there's certain times during the day that our little ones start to produce melatonin, which is a sleep hormone, and I start off with that basis. As far as awake times, those are used for younger kids. So if most of you do have those questions, you can go onto my website, and I do post on under free sleep resources. I have all of the age groups up until 3 years old, from newborn to 3 years old, on the difference between how many hours that you need for naps and for daytime and for nighttime, and then you're totaling to do that. Pamela asks, baby sleep in bassinet during the day but not at night. Baby only wants to sleep on me. Pamela, how old is your little one? Oh, so Pamela, so this is a question that you hear often? That's what I'm trying to understand. And this is just something that you want me to kind of reiterate on the answer. Oh, this baby's 7 weeks old. Okay. So, okay, got it. Hold on, let me scroll back up what you said. Oi! Baby... People keep responding. I can't get back to that question. Baby sleeps in bassinet during the day, but not at night. Baby only wants to sleep on me. Okay, so if the baby is 7 weeks old and wants to sleep on the mommy, I'm assuming that they have gassiness, and when they sleep on their belly, then that kind of alleviates the gassiness. So I would have mommy look into silent reflux, maybe speak with their pediatrician on if there's anything that might be going on with that route, doing kind of like aerobics with the little one right before they start going to sleep. That helps too. The bassinet is totally normal. They don't have to be put into a crib right away, especially since they're little, because a crib, for some kids, it can be like huge, so they sleep a little bit better in a bassinet. But you have to kind of go see with how sensitive that they are. But as fact is, if they're sleeping on the mommy, then I would kind of dig a little deeper as to why they are sleeping on the mommy. Maybe mommy likes it, and it's comforting for mommy to do that. But then the older that the little one will get, it'll be a little more difficult to kind of wean them off, meaning closer towards 4 months. So under 4 months of age, I wouldn't necessarily do anything regarding sleep training, because they're biologically immature at that time frame to do anything. So I would just kind of stick with what you're doing. If baby needs to be put on mommy, again, like I was saying, because of pressure, so it alleviates gas, then I would dig a little deeper into that. But if it's more for comfort for mom, then she can totally do that and bond with her little one up until 3.5, 4 months old, because then that starts to become more of a like a habitual kind of a piece. My pleasure. So let's see. Masha asks, hi. Okay. Oh my god, this is just like going bonkers. At how many months should I start putting baby to nap in his room without blackouts versus outside in the stroller? This is, I don't know what's going on with live today. It's not letting me read the whole question. At how many months should I start putting baby to nap in his room with blackouts versus outside in the stroller? You can do that from day one. So there's no specific time frame when you're doing that. Usually by, like I was mentioning, around 4 months, 16 weeks adjusted, that's when a child starts to have patterns that are more instilled, and you can actually create structure within that time frame. So what you want to do is the blackout curtains, they will help prior a little bit, not as significantly as they will after 4 months of age. So you can really start whenever you want. There's no starting point with using a perfect environment. That can begin at any age, really, but it really does make a big difference, oomph, usually 4 months plus. Sarah, hi Sarah. My baby is now 4 months, and he used to sleep on his own, but now he wants me to pick him up and rock him. If I don't, he doesn't sleep. So now, Sarah, just like I was mentioning, 4 months old is when patterns start to be created. Now, he understands that at this point in time, that in order for him most likely to fall asleep is that he has to be picked up. The other thing that I would want to kind of look into, if there might be a deeper reasoning why he needs to be picked up. Was he colicky when he was little? Was he gassy when he was little? I mean, he's still little, but when he was younger, maybe a couple of weeks old, maybe a few months old, what is the main reason why he needs to be picked up? Is it because he's crying and that's how you go to him and you tend to him and you help him go back to sleep? So if it has became an association for you, I would want to dig a little deeper and to find out the real reason behind that. Because for 4 months old, it's still relatively young for them to really put that association together. So there might be another reason as to why they might need for you to, or want for you to pick them up, because 4 months is still relatively young to actually have an association that's heavy and to grasp onto it. So why don't we do this? I have my calendar that I have linked up on top. Schedule something with me. It's a free sleep strategy session, and I would kind of want to ask you a little more deeper questions, and then we can kind of get down to the root of the situation on that. Because like I mentioned, at 4 months, it's still relatively young to have that strong association to anything. So I kind of want to find out a little bit more what's going on. Cool. Hope that helps, Sarah. Masha, you welcome, and you say you always feel so bad because it's so nice for him to nap in the fresh air. Yeah, I mean, I get that often, especially, within our culture. Well, I don't want to say just our culture. I think it's in any culture that kids say that they sleep better when it's fresh air outside. But if you want the fresh air, just crack open a window. Ideally, kids sleep better in the perfect environment when it's dark, because that increases their melatonin levels, which is their sleep hormone. And when you're outside, you're in movement, you have lights, you have all these sounds coming out at you. So once movement stops, you are in a lighter stage of sleep, as opposed to when you would be in a room that has a perfect sleep environment. So the quality, remember how I always mention quality and quantity? So even though you might have the quantity, meaning an hour plus for a nap outside, and then you'll have like a 30 or 45 minute nap at home, but that quality of sleep from inside in a perfect sleep environment versus outside are two completely different qualities of sleep. So ideally, even though the nap would be shorter in the house, the quality of the sleep would be much better, because they would be in deeper sleep longer. That's really what you want to focus on. So let's see. Hi, Floriana. Masha was saying, yes, I was going to say it's a Russian thing. I gotcha. Yeah, it usually is, but I've found it within other cultures that it's, goes hand in hand, the same thing. So Sarah, yeah, he was colic and gassy. Okay, good. Well, not good, but at least we know that there was something, a more underlying factor. But he wasn't like that before. Now he's like that. The reason why I started to do that is because he would get overly tired and would not be able to fall asleep. Yeah. So Sarah, with colicky babies, that usually lasts up until 4 months. The colic goes away by 2 months. But what happens is their sleep deprivation kind of lingers, and it goes into the the older months. So it goes into 4 or 5 months, and then when you want to put them down, they really don't know how to self-settle themselves because they've been so used to having that colic and having the crying tantrums for such a long period of time that their sleep deprivation just kind of piled. And you need to really put together a very gradual plan for yourself, where at this point, yeah, holding him does help, but you want to teach him or her, it's a him, but you want to teach him how to sleep independently. And that doesn't mean you not being part of the process. That does not mean you leaving him in the room and not helping him go to sleep. It just means that you want him to be aware of when he's going to sleep that you are helping him, but you're not doing the sleeping for him. Because when you're rocking a child to sleep, or if you're feeding them to sleep, you're actually trying to do the sleep for them. So you're helping them to fall asleep when they should actually be doing it themselves. So that's kind of where the tricky part comes in. But I'm glad you said that you will contact me. So I'm awesome on that. And I would want to talk a little bit more in detail about that. Hey, Jessica. Thanks for joining, guys. So just to kind of recap, it's Q&A. It's old-fashioned Q&A. That's why I'm in black and white tonight. Hi, Nadia. Hi, Julia. So Julia has a question. Hi, Carolina. I'm tuning in with my teething 7.5-month-old who is refusing to sleep normally for days. Oh boy. So I don't know what's going on in the air today, but a couple of my clients recently, and I'm like within the last 3 days, they all pop teeth out. So it's weird. I never had that happen before, where I had like 3 or 4 clients at one shot where all like their teeth started coming out. But if Julia, if your little one is teething at this point, I would just try and help him, help them calm as much as possible to help them go to sleep. Once the teething passes, then I would start focusing on sleep training, because I don't want you thinking that, oh my goodness, they can't sleep train because they're teething. They're teething up until at least until 3 years old. There's always something coming out or building up in their mouth. So when you have a child that is having pain from teething and they're not sleeping, they are in pure sleep deprivation mode. And that is not good for them either, especially when their little teeth are supposed to be popping out. So once their teeth come out, the ones that are already coming out that you're waiting for them to pop out, I would start sleep training at that part, and focusing on the schedule is 1, and then if they have any type of associations, that's 2. So I would look into both of those aspects. If you do need any help with those pieces, make sure to contact me and then we can put something up together. But for now, I would just kind of be with your little one and help them go through that period of teething, because for some they're very sensitive and it can be really, really horrible, and for others they can just kind of breeze through it. Like my kids, it wasn't that bad with the teething aspect for them, but I've had some cases where the babies were really intense and they just needed some more tender loving care during that time frame. So that's really what I want you to do. Just focus on that before even starting sleep training, and then after that, once the teeth pop out, then you can start going into helping them how to sleep. Floriana has a question. How do I get hold on, let me open this. How do I get my kids to sleep in the same room? My daughter is almost 3 and my son is 15 months. They slept together for months until my older one freaked out and decided she refuses to sleep with him. We have moved her to our room in her crib, and now I have to live with her until she falls asleep. It sucks. Help. Oh boy, Floriana. So first thing is, I would want to find out why your almost 3-year-old daughter freaked out. So I would I'm pretty sure you asked her questions already, like, what happened, or why do you feel this way? Maybe go a little more creative with it. Maybe have her draw a picture, telling her what does she feel bedtime looks like, what is her, favorite part of bedtime, how, kind of like what. Also, I want to know what happened when her brother was born. Did she kind of have a setback and she started acting as though she was also a baby. I've had some toddlers do that too. It would kind of backfire. She said there was a witch and then a monster and then it was something else. Her imagination runs wild. Yeah, so for kids it runs really wild. What I would do is have her come up with a storyline. You can come up with the storybook yourself. And usually what I have is these freaky characters like witches, monsters, and all that other stuff. They probably read it somewhere, you know, like in those fancy schmancy children's books we have, like Hansel and Gretel. I'm going to tell you the truth. That book scares the bejesus out of me. I had that book, and I don't remember reading it when I was little. I mean, it's kind of like a blur, but I read it to my son, and I'm sitting there, I'm reading it. I'm like, are you kidding me? These books, these are horrific stories. Hansel and Gretel, where the parents, they had to pick which child is going to stay with them, and then the kids run off into the forest, and then they find a witch, and then the witch tries to eat them, and then these two little children, probably ages 5 and 6, throw the witch into an oven. And like, come on, that's not a children's book, that's freaky. So probably, you know, for kids, when they're reading stuff like that, it gets to their imagination. So I would have her rewrite her story. So if the monster is scary, if the witch is scary, have her think of, you know, how would the witch look if she had a pink tutu on with hot pink nail polish and a fluorescent bow? You know, where would she be going? Maybe to a fancy party with her monster who's going to be her escort, wearing a tuxedo and little sharp black glasses. So make it a little fun for her. You don't want to make it too, you know, you don't want to focus too much on it. I've had some parents that had success with creating like monster sprays, where all you have is like a little like a spray bottle, and then they put like monster on it. You know, it's like 50-50. Some people say, there are like two schools of thought on that. Some say it works, some say that you are just kind of pushing that factor of imagination of monsters and things to make them more real because they're spraying at them. So, you know, you can go with whichever school of thought you feel more confident with, but that is, you know, another option for you. Oh, the spray didn't work. Yeah, so in some cases it doesn't work, but you really need to talk to her about this and have her recreate her scary thoughts into something positive. She shouldn't feel scared at bedtime, even though at this age it is normal for children's imaginations to run wild, but you want to reprogram that imagination from something scary to something pleasant. So I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, let me know, but that's at least the first starting point that I would want you to have. Work on that first, and then when she feels secure enough, then you can put her into the room with her brother as well. My pleasure. Let's see, who else has more questions? I don't know why this isn't letting me. Yes, I need help with both. Julia's saying she has, what's going on here? She has somewhat of a schedule, but nothing truly structured, and she used to fall asleep on her own with no issues, and she started teething, so we started holding her more. So now we stopped doing that and just waited for her to get so tired that she falls asleep when she touches the bed, but that's also not so ideal. Yeah, so Julia, you don't want to necessarily do that. You don't want to wait until she kind of exhausts herself, because that doesn't really help the situation either. But I'm assuming the reason why you're doing that is because you've exhausted all of your options and you've tried everything and anything under the sun already, and you really don't know what else to do. So you're kind of just waiting it out and waiting until the point that she just exhausts herself, and then you can put her to bed and then see how kind of the night goes from there. If that's the case, I really want you to chat with me so we can kind of figure this out, because I don't believe any parent should be waiting out until their child exhausts themselves until they go to sleep. It's literally simple with making sure that you're matching their biological rhythms, their internal sleep clock, with an appropriate schedule for them. And that's what I specialize in. So if you are at your wit's end and you are kind of at this point where you don't know what to do, so you're just sitting there, you know, like on the couch waiting at the clock, waiting until they exhaust themselves, that can be until 11 o'clock at night, that can be until 10, and then a couple of days later that wind will pass, and then it'll be later and later and later till the next thing that you know, it's like midnight that you're putting them down. So this stuff doesn't really Julia, you're saying wit's end isn't the term. Oh boy. So yeah, just contact me. Let's try and figure this out for you, because I don't want you sitting there and this isn't good for you. This isn't healthy for your child either. It's not healthy for the family either. So you both have to, the family in general has to sleep beautifully. So all of you can, when you're present together, you're actually present and you're not at each other's throats because you're so exhausted, which is usually what happens in instances like this. When families are not getting the proper amount of sleep, they start bickering, or they're not the perfect parent that they know that they can be and that they want to be, because sleep deprivation is really playing the huge role in this. So I never want anyone to feel that way. I hope you guys know that by now. And if you do feel as though you've tried everything and you don't know what else to do, I come in with a clear canvas and I can decipher things that you might not see are pointing, you know, like sections of it. So because I have been trained in this and I know what to kind of decipher, as you can see, like the pieces that I'm asking and the questions that I'm asking you guys. And you, if you're sleep deprived, you have, like, I call it fog and noggin, because you have brain fog the entire time, so you can't see straight really. And that's where I would come in to help you put a plan together and all that other stuff. So let's see what other questions we have. I don't know why this is not letting me look up, but Julia, you said she also started crawling, so she jerks from sleep and starts crawling right away. It's so funny, and I saw your last video about the sleep regression at this stage. Yeah, so Julia, you already know, went through a whole spiel with you, but let me know if there's anything else that I could help you with, okay? Hi, Patricia. So are there any more questions for tonight? We're on like for half an hour or so. We're getting lots of awesome questions. Make sure to share this video. Thanks for liking it. And I guess I'll wait for, you know, a couple more minutes. So let's see if I can turn this on. I don't know what's going on here. I want to put on that Robert Mendoza song. How was your night, guys, for now? Well, besides the no sleeping. Oh, here we go. I like this. Any other questions? No? Okay, so I guess I answered them all. So sweet dreams, everyone. I hope that that meditation that I did last week did justice for you and that you guys felt nice and calm. So if you want me to do another meditation, let me know and I'll be happy to put one together for you. So this is me tuning out. My pleasure, guys. Sweet dreams. Love you. I'll see you tomorrow night, same time, same place. Bye.